A few nights ago, I had someone try to break into my room. Whew. Hey guys, Kristen here with Be My Travel Muse, and today I want to talk about something a little bit uncomfortable. I'm coming at you from the Philippines, and it's my third time here. I love the Philippines. I love how friendly everyone is. I think it's beautiful, so I'm stoked to be back here. However, I had a kind of unfortunate circumstance, and I debated making this video because I don't want anyone to take it personally, because it's not about the Philippines, and it was not at this resort. Don't try to figure out where it was, I'm not going to tell you. I still think it's important to talk about because it happened and it made me realize a few things about traveling solo. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump in here. A few nights ago, I had someone try to break into my room. I went to bed super early. About an hour later, I felt my room shaking a bunch. So I was in a private room. I'd locked all my doors. There was a front door and there was a sliding glass door. So it felt and it sounded like someone was in my room. So I picked up my phone, I shined the flashlight, and I didn't see anything. In my sort of groggy, delirious state, I just assumed it was an animal that climbed up on the roof or something. And then a few minutes later, my bungalow shook again, and then I saw someone shining a light from a phone into my room, and they tried to open the sliding glass door. So they had climbed up onto my balcony and were trying to get in. That was incredibly freaky. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't really have a way of letting anyone know I'm in distress. So I had a hard time sleeping that night. I felt really violated and kind of scared, and I'm just assuming here, I don't think that they had any intentions with me personally, and once they realized that someone was in there, they ran away. But this really woke me up to a few super important things about traveling alone. So I'm making this video because I think it's important to talk about what I should have done differently in this situation. I don't blame the Philippines at all. This hasn't made me not want to come back here for any reason. I was broken into 5 times in California where I grew up, and the only time I've been pickpocketed was actually in Berlin where I used to live. So I don't necessarily think that was a less safe situation than being at home. And also, I've only had 2 kind of bad things happen to me while traveling solo. Once was here and once was in Nepal. So I'd say that's a pretty good overall track record. I don't know what it's like to be in a position where you want to steal from someone. If I were truly desperate, I can't say what I would do. Maybe I would do the same thing. You know, if I'm thinking about a tourist who, if I steal their camera or something like that, isn't going to starve or have an issue because of it, other than the annoyance and the cost, that might be my first target too. So I can understand where they're coming from, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't excuse it, but it helps me to not really be mad at or blame the person. I don't sleep with any clothes on. That would have really delayed me. I put clothes on right after that happened just because I don't want to have a situation where if I need help, that's one of the steps I need to take to get that help. The second thing that I think is a much bigger thing here is traveling with a personal alarm. I've never done that actually, even though I advise it on my blog. And I don't know why, I guess I just didn't think about it, but being there in that room, it didn't have a phone. I didn't really have another way of making noise, which now that I think about it, I do have a whistle attached to my backpack, so I could have run over there and blown it. But a personal alarm is just a small device that you can use to make an even louder noise, a clear SOS signal if you need to. And so that would be a way to at least alert people to my situation, what's going on. I also think it would be good to travel with a door jamb. So those are not that heavy either, they're pretty small, you can easily put them in your baggage. That's something that I could have wedged under the front door. Also in the future, I would probably look to stay on the second floor if that had been an option, because it's harder for someone to get up on your balcony if you're not on the ground level. So that's something to ask for if you're staying at a hotel. I also think that having a plan if someone did break in would be a good idea, and that would just involve practicing self-defense and learning different ways to use whatever might be at my disposal to defend myself if I need to.
Situation. And then you swing it and you hold the wrist and then you push it downward.
The only times that things have happened to me traveling are when I broke my own rules. So this is another one of those times where I would say I really actually broke one of my own rules by not having a way to make enough noise around. Because when you're staying somewhere remote like I was, that's really important. And in the past, I broke the rule of walking alone at night, which is how I got grabbed in Nepal. That wasn't fun. And then the time I got pickpocketed in Berlin, I didn't actually clasp shut my bag. So these are all things that I just get lazy about, and I think that that's when most of the time things tend to happen to people when they travel, whether you're alone or not. I'm gonna take from this the importance of having more layers of protection for myself in the future. It doesn't make me love solo travel any less. It doesn't make me more fearful of the world, because it's not like I never thought there were people out there who steal things previously. As I said, I have been robbed before at home, so it doesn't make me think that leaving home's a bad idea either, because people steal things in the US too. So I just hope that in sharing this story and experience, it's a way for me to not hide anything, but to also remind everyone of the importance of taking extra precautions, especially when you travel alone. So I hope that it provided something useful to you, and if you like videos about solo traveling and also about the Philippines, which I've got a bunch on my channel, you can subscribe right here. And I will see you next Wednesday for a new video that will be about a more lighthearted topic.